Hello Scorpio, it's Ashley. We're going to do your wrap-up reading for November 2021. So this will be from the 22nd all the way through to the end of the month. Next week I'll be putting out the December forecasts. But if you are in the United States, as you know, we are about to celebrate Thanksgiving. And while there's some obvious controversy about that particular holiday, one thing I've always loved about it was that it kind of gives us an opportunity to really step back and appreciate what we have to be thankful for. And gratitude is one of the highest vibrational frequencies you can be on. And so I thought it'd be fun this week to do a reading where we focus on all the awesome things you have done this year. And really have like a good, feel-good reading about what it is that you have accomplished, the mountains you've climbed. And so in this first row, we're going to look and see what it is that you should be congratulating or kind of giving yourself some more credit for. You know, oftentimes we don't celebrate our wins enough. And sometimes we don't even recognize just how much we have accomplished, right? Sometimes we don't even take the time to look at it. In this next row, we're going to look and see what your guides want to congratulate you for. Look at that, you get the spirit of gratitude. How fitting. And in this last row, we're going to see, you know, what awesome stuff might be coming in for you from now until the end of the year. Like, what do you have to look forward to? And this just flew out. We have two. Light in the unexpected, and you are living poetry. Okay. So, and heads up, I've never used this deck. So when we get to that part, we're going to look and see what the book has to say. Give us some additional insight into what those cards mean. Alright, so what's been going on for Scorpio this year? How can we celebrate these Scorpios? So definitely let me know what you think about this reading. It's a little bit different, but I thought it would be fun. And I think it's important, you know, that we don't always focus on the things that are hard, right? We've got plenty of challenges in life, so let's focus on some good stuff. See what we get. We have the King of Cups. Look, there you are. The Ace of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. I do feel like some sort of turn of events is coming in here for you. We have the Seven of Wands, the Eight of Swords, and the King of Swords, the Emperor, the Five of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. Alright, bottom of the deck, we have the Hanged Man. Could be dealing with a Pisces, but more so, I kind of feel like this energy of just, you've felt a little stuck. You've kind of been in this position of, you know, maybe mentally stuck. You might have even been keeping yourself stuck. Or perhaps divine timing just has not been on your side as of yet this year. But during that time that you're hanging upside down like the Hanged Man, You are starting to see things from a different perspective altogether. So there's definitely learning happening here. Some enlightenment that comes in when we get the Hanged Man, right? So let's see what, in this first row, you're encouraged to acknowledge in yourself. We have a grand symphony. So what this card really talks about is just like harmony, you know, everything really working together, right? Because in a symphony, there's multiple players, and for it all to come together, they have to do their part just right. And so we have the King of Cups, the Seven of Wands, and the Emperor. So could certainly have been dealing with an Aries here, that Emperor showing up. Could have also been somebody in authority, so like a boss. May have also been that you were really fighting for the creation and the stability of even owning your own business here. And that makes sense with that Grand Symphony card, because if you're the sole business owner, there's a lot of pieces to that business that you're trying to keep in the air, right? That Grand Symphony, it all has to work together to succeed. So take that as it resonates. We're going to clarify it and see what this is all about. So what do we have with the King of Cups? We have, okay, both of these want to come out. The Nine of Cups and the Moon. Tons of intuitive guidance here that you have been following. You're really following your own bliss, your own happiness, and you're really paying attention to your intuition and what says yes and what says no, or don't go that way, go this way, right? So I think that's played a big part for you this past year in particular. The Seven of Wands, we have the Page of Cups, and the Eight of Swords. And with the Emperor, we have the King of Swords, who's showing up here in the future position as well, and the Three of Cups. So I feel like perhaps you've been dealing with a counterpart here. Could certainly be an air sign. If not, this King of Swords to me is just somebody who's, you know, they could be a little cold. They can be a little cold, especially when they're coming up with the Emperor as well. Definitely a leadership kind of person. Somebody who's in charge, uses their wisdom, logic, makes clear decisions, that kind of thing. But they're also kind of a bit unfeeling sometimes. It doesn't mean they don't have emotions. It just seems like maybe they don't express them all the time. Because I feel like you're in this watery, lovely energy here. So it may actually be that the two of you balance each other out nicely, right? And I do feel like this past year, there may have been an attempt at a reconciliation with this person. So this could be someone that you know, perhaps had some trouble with, you split up maybe, or if you didn't split up in the past, there was some trouble in the dynamic, some kind of defensive energy here. And I do feel like somebody here in this situation, could very well be you, since it's your reading, Scorpio, was very mentally locked up, kind of stuck. And it could be because there were some fears coming up within you. We do have the Moon card here, which can be kind of like deeper emotions that we haven't fully explored, and some of those are fears, right? They come out at night. And so if this person came forward and offered you their cup, perhaps an apology, or just, you know, trying to reach out and kind of offer some love of some kind, I think it kind of, you might have been a little guarded about it. You could have got very far up in your head about it. And it looks to me at this juncture, and we'll keep clarifying, because I think this story is going to keep unfolding with this King of Swords showing up here in the outcome. Feels like this person wanted to come back together with you or celebrate your relationship. Now, with that Grand Symphony card there, I think one thing for sure I want to say about that, because this is your row of, you know, how to congratulate yourself, right? I do feel like you really spent some time to really try and collaborate with this person. This might be a very deep soul connection here. And the two of you have kind of come together to teach one another some lessons as well. Because that just happens to be one of those fun bonuses that comes along when you meet a soulmate, right? I want to get some more on this next row before I come to any conclusions here about this Grand Symphony, this harmonious sort of energy that you should be congratulating yourself for. Now, your guides have the Spirit of Gratitude card. So this is what they're patting you on the back about. And perhaps you've been in an energy where you've had a lot of gratitude. Whether the lessons were pleasant ones or very difficult ones. And we have that 8 of Swords, 5 of Wands here. So there was definitely a lot of conflict here. And I think you were somehow able to look into a situation and find the silver lining. To find that kind of diamond in the rough kind of thing. So I feel like one of the things that for sure stands out is that you're putting in the effort to really feel into things and find the positive, the takeaway, if that makes sense. And so I do feel like your guides want you to recognize that they are celebrating that about you. So let's see what's going on, because we have the Ace of Wands here. And to me, that felt like that silver lining. It's like you could find that inspiration, that gratitude, kind of is what keeps you going, even during the hard times. With the Ace of Wands, we get the Knight of Swords, and the 3 of Pentacles. So again, some communication from an air sign, possibly, this King of Swords, that they want to collaborate with you. Now, it could be a completely new person here with that being an Ace of Wands. Let's see, 8 of Swords. We have the Magician and the Temperance. So with the 5 of Wands, we get the 2 of Swords and the King of Pentacles. So I kind of feel like something here we have all this waiting energy, this kind of stuck energy, the Hanged Man. We got the Eight of Swords twice, and now we have Temperance showing up with the Magician, which is more like patient energy. And I feel like, it's kind of interesting here. I feel like even when you were just stuck in something, instead of feeling like, oh God, I'm stuck here, you were like, oh, I'm just going to be patient. Like, you had this, like, positive outlook, even when, like I was saying, you were in a situation that was quite unpleasant, perhaps. And I feel like with this Two of Swords, Five of Wands, and the King of Pentacles here, it could be here that someone was not wanting to commit to something here. Could have been this reconciliation, could have been this relationship. Got so many kings showing up here along with the Emperor. Definitely some strong masculine energy here. If not within you, then just in your environment. And I feel like I've talked about that with you, Scorpio, before. So it could be that it's so bizarre. Every now and then for a Scorpio reading, it's like I'm feeling the block. Because it's kind of difficult for me to decipher right now. I'm going to clarify this last row, and then we're going to sum up the story here. Because I feel like there's some blocks here. I feel like if we're dealing with a counterpart situation, somebody in this dynamic is not wanting to look at something. We've got blindfold, blindfold, blindfold. You know what I mean? There's this stuck energy. There's a bit of conflict here. I really do still feel like no matter what, I feel like your guides want you to realize that it's a super amazing gift and a quality within you that you're able to see things from a positive light. You're able to find that silver lining. And every time we do that, even when we're in a very low vibrational experience, we raise our vibration. And so to me, it's not showing up as like bypassing. Like, I just don't want to look at the bad, so I'm just going to be happy, happy, positive. No, I think you're completely able to look at a difficult situation and still find that positive nugget. So I wanted to clarify that. In this last row, so this is the good of what's to come. We have You Are Living Poetry and Light in the Unexpected. So I feel like, for one, you are living poetry. It's really about kind of looking at ourselves and, really taking the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it, and just recognizing that we're perfect just as we are, right? And we're perfectly imperfect at the same time. And so I do feel like that's coming in for you, that kind of deeper self-love, recognizing that you have a special part to play here on Earth in everything you do and every relationship you experience. And that's part of what makes it perfect. Now, that came up for another reading. I don't remember who. But this card, Light in the Unexpected, I'm going to look at that one because I haven't drawn that one before. It says, the unexpected. It kind of feels like a tower. Upheaval, disarray, working with a sudden change, lessons from unexpected sources, spreading love in difficult times, showing your true self, being a light worker in a place where it is needed most. Something unexpected is emerging quickly. This type of sudden change can be exhilarating, yet it can also feel like things have gotten way out of control when parts of our regularly scheduled reality begin to crumble. So we have the Wheel of Fortune here, and this card being kind of like the Tower with the Wheel of Fortune, this is a strongly positive shift in a new direction here. Again, we have the King of Swords showing up, and then the Queen of Swords. So we definitely have a pair of counterparts here. Let's see. See if we can get some more clarity on this reading, because it's a little complicated. With the Wheel of Fortune, we have the Star card. Definitely some strong Aquarius showing up for you, Scorpio, if that helps to clarify anything for you. And the Four of Swords. So I feel like there's some healing thing coming in for you. The Star and the Four of Swords coming up together. But the King of Swords, we get the Six of Wands and the Ace of Wands. Ah, okay. See how it starts coming together when we just get all the cards out. Queen of Swords, we have the Ten of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. So I kind of feel like perhaps if you've been resisting this reconciliation with this King of Swords, this Emperor leader energy, could be an Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, also possible. I feel like they want a new beginning with you. They keep telling you this. This has come up 1, 2, 3 times. It's like they're not giving up here. And I feel like, so perhaps for some of you, this person has maybe been like, hey, let's get back together, but they weren't able to offer a commitment, right? Like, they didn't want to label it. They just wanted to see how things went, whatever. If that's true for you, I feel like you're able to communicate that you want a commitment. And I think that you may even do so a bit harshly. But I feel like this person, it's like I get this feeling this person finally understands where you're coming from. And I say that because in this second row, we have the Two of Swords, Five of Wands, and the King of Pentacles, which to me is like commitment, long-term stability. Was clearly, there was a lack of clarity with that. It's almost like this person wanted to reconcile and then have things be a little bit loose, undefined, right? And I think that that's changing. I feel like they just want a passionate experience with you. They want to come together. They want a victory with you. And I think they're finally coming to recognize where you're coming from. If it's you that's wanting commitment, right? And perhaps that was the thing you were waiting for from this person this whole time, with all this stuck energy. And I think you tried to be patient. I think that, but you also stood up for, what you require. So I think that's coming in nicely. And I think the shift here is like, it's like they finally understand you. You say what you want. You might say it in such a way that's like a bit cutting. maybe even a little bit of anger behind it. And for some reason it clicks. And then somehow you're able to work together, and there's all this healing that takes place that perhaps has been kind of caught up in this stuck energy. It's like you had to get on the same page. You had to get into harmony with this person. And I think it's finally showing up here. And there's something very deeply healing about getting on that same page. It's like I'm seeing like instantly the visual that I get. You know how like if you ride a mountain bike and you go to switch the gears and the chain doesn't catch right away? And so you're pedaling and it's making a bunch of noise. It's not very smooth and you might not be moving at the speed that you want to go. And then suddenly the chain clicks into place, gets on the right wheel of the gear, and then you start going. That's kind of what that feels like. So that's really quite lovely. Now that we figured out what your reading was trying to say, I think you've had a lot of patience. And I think the thing that really stands out is that you stood up for yourself here in this dynamic. And at the same time, you were really following your intuition and your heart. And I feel like you were always trying to find the positive in things. A really great attitude is what I want to say here. Even when things were difficult, you always kept a really great attitude. And I think that things are finally going to pay off for you for kind of hanging in there, right? I hope you found that helpful, Scorpio. And if you hung in this long, thank you for sticking with me. And I will see you in the December forecast. Bye.